Hello ladies and gentlemen, Lanx here with another pro game replay for you. Today we've got Millenium's ForGG up here in the top left in the red. In the bottom right we've got Liquid HerO playing as a Protoss, as usual. So both these guys are professional Korean players. They're both really good at what they do. This is from the Acer TeamStory Cup that happened a little while ago, pretty recently. And these guys are pretty far into the finals. So both these players are really accomplished. I mean, HerO has won more tournaments than I can count. ForGG, not quite that, but he's still really good and has won a whole lot of tournaments. And yeah, both these players are very experienced at this point. They both know Heart of the Swarm. I can almost say Brood War. Of course, they also know Brood War pretty well. Both these guys are Brood War vets, so they know their game inside and out, old and new school. So, in this map, it's pretty easy to rush your opponents since you know exactly where they are. You've got a pretty narrow choke point, so it's really easy for the Terran to wall off. Even against a Protoss, it's not a terrible idea since you deny them scouting if you get your wall up. The Protoss side of things, of course, you can do a fast expand if you wish, but you have this nice big opening here from the middle that makes it really hard to defend. So, I mean, obviously doing a Forge stance against a Terran really isn't recommended, but people try it, but however, the normal build is to go for a gateway on 13. We'll see where he goes from there. Still just chronoing at workers, getting his gas, so it looks pretty standard so far. On ForGG's side, it also looks pretty standard. Putting on a supply depot just to block off the entrance there. Like I said, putting on a wall off pretty handy against any kind of army. If you're facing any kind of opponent, if you can deny them scouting, then they can't see what you're doing. They have to guess. They may guess wrong. A lot of people assume incorrectly that if you wall them off, if it's not a Zerg opponent, that therefore you must be doing something cheesy. So it can actually be a pretty good metagame kind of strategy. Somebody comes in, they can't see anything. I mean, what can heroes see here? Nothing but supply depots. So he knows that, well, he knows nothing. All he knows is that there is 2 supply depots and a barracks. So this does slow down ForGG's macro a bit. I mean, without that barracks, you can get down, say, a fast expansion. It takes a little longer, but generally worth it. Interesting to note that ForGG is not making a Reaper to open, too. Against Protoss, personally, I kind of like getting a Reaper opening, but it's not required. Going many Reapers against Protoss is generally not a good idea, since if they get a Militia Core out, you are basically boned, as you can't really do anything when you can't shoot up. So Cybernetics Core here almost done, and we've got a Zealot coming out, and it's not rallied out. We'll see if he does a bit of a rush with a Stalker and a Zealot. Pretty common again. Easy to put on early pressure with that. You can annoy your Terran opponent, force him to, say, build a bunker or something, or at least slow down his expansion somewhat. When you get to these pro games, really every second counts, so if you can deny expansion for, say, 15 seconds, that makes a whole world of difference later on. And ForGG here is getting his CC down, so he'll have a bit of an advantage in the metagame, or the macro game, rather, as HerO does not. Of course, HerO, look at the unit count here, does have more probes, really simply because of Chrono Boost, which is also kind of handy. Is getting a Militia Core, and we've got a Zealot and a Stalker. Not really sure what the Stalker's up to here. I guess looking for proxy Raxes, although I don't really know why he'd suspect that. Again, like I said, you block off their scouting, they can't tell what you're doing. They need to at least be cautious, since you could be doing something cheesy. And this is just going to hang out the tower here. Probably going to join the Stalker and go up and do a little bit of a push. We've got this Militia Core really going to the side here. I guess going to take the scenic route over, since HerO doesn't know that ForGG hasn't taken this tower, so he's going to play it safe and sneak around the side. Militia Core can be really annoying when pushing. You do need 3 or 4 Marines really to focus it down, and if you've got other units to deal with, then of course that just makes it more complicated. Looks like ForGG getting up a 1-1-1 build. He's getting mines, and or well, mine right now, and he's getting a starport. He's not getting the reactor at first because he really wants that first mine apparently. Got a probe up here. I'll be surprised if he doesn't throw down a proxy pylon at some point. This Zealot, oh, that was not such good micro. HerO might have been focusing on his Militia Core. He's got to be careful because he could actually lose it if he wanders out into the open. These 4 Marines could, I believe, take it down, just. Oh, we got a single mine here. Kind of a waste of a mine firepower, but it's got a kill. It's a recruit. Militia Core heading on back. It looks like HerO's expansion's almost ready here. Let's go back to the production tab here so we can see what's going on. So, it looks like more mines coming out and a medevac. Could be some sort of drop coming up. I mean, mine drops are really effective, particularly if your opponent doesn't see them coming. And there are no observers in the field yet, although there is one building right now. So, if HerO's got the good placement, or if you manage to scout out the medevac before it hits, then that could be pretty handy. Or it might just be a Marine mine push. You can actually do that pretty well these days. if you can bait the Protoss into, say, chasing your poor defenseless Marines across a minefield, it really hurts. And if the Protoss player isn't particularly observant, they can lose like most of their army, particularly early game. Those mines will one-shot stalkers, so it's an excellent trade. Back at home, warp gate's finished. We've got rural facility just kind of sitting there at this point, but the obs is just kind of staying at home, which is a little strange. We do have a medevac coming in, only 2 mines, so this is a pretty light drop. If this medevac goes down, it's going to be a massive waste. I mean, that's only 150 minerals and 50 gas inside, and it's 100 for the medevac, so let's see where this goes. Gonna be going in, gonna hit the boosters, there we go. Oh, and next overcharge down. That's gonna end this really fast. And 1 mine, doesn't even get a shot off. And that one takes out a single probe, not worth it at all. And next overcharge just has such range that they can just keep wailing out the whole time. So, workers back to work. And that puts ForGG quite a bit ahead. I mean, if we look at the kill count here, we can see that he's killed 5 units. ForGG's only gotten 2 probes out of it, which really isn't enough to make up for the loss there. So both players have their expansion down. If we look back at the units here, we can see that there's 39 STVs to 40 probes, so they're pretty much an even keel. However, ForGG, of course, does have 2 orbital commands, so 2 mules down. Oh, we've got Rocks getting killed. We don't know if he's seen that observer yet. He hasn't picked up on that quite yet. Stem shield coming, and we do have 3 Raxes here, all producing Marines, so this could be a timing push. In fact, I would bet on it, because that is a heck of a lot of Marines. And there goes the spy cam for HerO. So he's not going to be able to see what's going on anymore, though he probably can figure out that something is afoot, as there are a lot of Marines heading out. Well, he doesn't know that, but there's a lot of Marines. He knows that, and that's trouble. So the observer's heading over. If it misses the Marines, which it looks like it's going to, he's still going to notice that they're not there anymore. So that's a conspicuous absence. HerO's got 3 sentries, 2 zealots, and a Mothership Core. That's not really enough to defend with. Oh, and a handful of stalkers here, so that's something. But ForGG coming around the side here isn't going to be spotted. That probe might have just peeked the medevac, but that's not really enough. Observer coming out, and it's going to spot it now. So HerO's got to get some units out really fast. He's got enough money there for money. He's got enough and energy for an excess overcharge, so he will be able to do that. Not that great against Marines, but it makes an excellent denial weapon, because you really don't want to face it if you don't have to. It still takes 3 shots to kill a Marine, and I believe that it takes 4 if it's a medevac actively healing, so it's a bit annoying. ForGG just checking back here for an expansion, and probably for pylons as well, since a pylon in the back here you can reinforce at both sides of the offending army, and kind of crush it in the middle, which makes for a great little strategy if you're defending as a Protoss. More Stalkers, more Zealots. Looks like here doesn't really have anything. Oh, he's got a Colossus out now. So Colossi tech is done. He does not have the range yet. Let's look at production again. Range isn't actually even building right now. Yeah, only 6 range. Not so good versus Marines. So this won't go so well for the Protoss. He may still run, since, I mean, the Colossi is a nasty weapon versus Marines, regardless of whether or not you got the upgrades for them. Stomping on one of those force fields. Single lone Marine down here, just guarding the 3rd, I suppose. Got a proxy pylon over here, but nothing happening yet. A single lone Zealot here, just to make sure that there's nothing building. We've got a command center turning into an orbital command, so this is probably going to go take the 3rd. ForGG wisely moving it to check his 3rd. Nope, going back. So I guess he's, nope, okay, so he's splitting his forces up a little bit. I guess that's not a bad idea. But he's still going to be delayed a bit when he tries to expand. HerO does have both towers, so he's got much better intel on the whole situation here. If we go back to unit tab here, we can see that he's still pretty much neck and neck when it comes to workers, so there's no real advantage for either player here. Honestly, GG's in the lead in the income tab just because of those mules. You can see that really makes a difference. And the gas, they're just neck and neck. Pop-wise, GG is ahead still. HerO's getting a lot more warp gates online, so that'll help with the army build up in the near future. Oh, there goes that Zealot. So CC sits down. CC's probably going to start making SCVs. Probably from all 3 orbital commands. Yep, they're all rallied over there and doing a bit of a Maynard transfer. Now we have Vikings joining the fight now too, so that'll be an excellent counter for those Colossi. And Hellbats are actually a pretty good counter as well, simply because they're bigger and they can absorb more hits. If you get a few of them in the front, they'll take the first 2 shots on the Colossi, which can be pretty handy. Saves your Marines enough time usually to get in range when they have stim as well. We got a nice little Stalker death ball here coming together. Could really use some Stalkers in there as well, with the Colossi not much of a range damage really. HerO's probably just leaving some behind just in case it drops, since it is a bio army that he's facing. And there's a whole... Oh, Observer sees this coming, so HerO's gonna have to gather everything together. Yep, getting all his units together, missing those zealots in the back, but man. This Colossi is wandering kind of away from the main army. Oh, and the Vikings are getting picked off. We've got a force time warp going down with the mothership. And Colossi getting too far ahead of themselves there, and nobody's picking off these Vikings. They're just taking out the Colossi. Not good. Colossi aren't even fighting right now, and they still don't have the range upgrade. Is he even getting that? Yeah, it's almost done. That push was just perfectly timed. If GG had waited another 10 seconds, he would have been totally outmatched. I mean, as it wasn't a killer push, but it worked out a lot better than it could have. So it looks like GG's going to be sitting back here and licking his wounds with those medevacs. I mean, they're pretty handy for that. And HerO is warping in a few more units somewhere. Where is he warping in units? There they are. So we've got more... Yeah, sentries. I thought there was a High Templar for a second. That would have been a pretty interesting switch. GG's core Hellbats just coming to pieces here. Oh, what's that? Neat little death animation. Never seen that one before. Just the legs left over. So it looks like we've got a pretty decent army size here. Lots of Marauders, which is a good switch. Marauders and Hellbats are a very good counter for this kind of a Death Ball army. Since the Hellbats will deal nicely with the Zealots and the Marauders deal with everything else. Marines die too easily to the Colossi. Even if they're more cost efficient, they just fall apart too quickly. And it looks like ForGG going to be running away. Yeah, he just can't fight this. Not in this choke one. He needs a nice concave. And with his Colossi in the back, he needs Vikings to pick them off. And right now, he just doesn't have any. There's more coming in, and some Marauders slowly taking the field. It looks like his rally point's down here, which is a bit of a missed rally. HerO is... Where is HerO going? I guess he's sitting back at home, but HerO's playing very passively. I mean, he's got this proxy, and it looks like he's doing a bit of a zealot push here, but that's not really a whole lot. He could be doing much more. He needs DTs or high temps to come in and, you know, do some nasty damage very quickly to these mineral lines. He's got another proxy over here. I would think that a, whatchamacallit, not a warp gate, a warp prism would be an excellent unit to use here, because ForGG has no air defense. I mean, HerO doesn't know that, but why would he have any air defense anyway? And you can go in, you can drop in some units and immediately warp in a whole lot more. It's an excellent distraction. It forces an army retreat, or at least some sort of an army retreat to go back and deal with it, and in the meantime you can hit an expansion. But HerO is playing it pretty passively right now. This is a gigantic death ball coming down. ForGG is maxed out at 193 to 193. One more Slavite bow and he'll be ready to go. And it looks like he's getting his 2-3, whereas HerO's getting his 3-3. So HerO does have those double forges in the back there. All his tech is nicely stacked together. Makes it easy to scout, unfortunately. And yeah, if he gets the 3-2, honestly, I'd say a death ball 3-3 of bio is going to do much better than a death ball of Protoss, excluding the Colossi. That's really the clincher here. It's going to be the Vikings versus the Colossi. Oh, and that's into the mothership. That's a bit of a blow. Could have used that. If there's enough Vikings to take out the Colossi before they can really do much damage, then HerO is in a lot of trouble. Nope. And HerO getting dropped. Oh god, how did I miss that? So HerO getting dropped horribly. This is awful. He's going to lose his main if he doesn't do something. These Zealots do something, and this army is engaged over here, so he can't turn around and help. And he doesn't have his mothership core, so he can't even use the next overcharge. So he's losing. Oh, he's losing his warp gates. He's going to lose his ability to reinforce. Probably going to lose that Templar Archive down there. This army, GG just buying himself time, running away. And he can do that. And it looks like he's getting a PF on his front door. So that'll help hold the line, so to speak. Just buying himself time, because this PF's almost done, and these guys are just going to town. They've almost got the level 3 attack upgrade done as well. However, this Protoss army is pretty beefy. I'm going to be surprised if he can't actually hold this. Or if he can hold this, rather. The Terran army doesn't have anything to back this up. I mean, even with all these production structures going, they're just trickling units into the Colossi, and they're just dying. And oh, we really shouldn't have the sentries at the front eating those hits from the PF, and he really shouldn't be attacking the PF at all, because there's a juicy third over here that's completely undefended. GG is still going to town on this base. Taking out the natural, it's gone. He's actually running his medevacs out of energy. He's been stimming so much, trying to hurry. Some Zealots are just vibrating over here between the proton cannons. I guess that's something they just do in their spare time. Now he's going off for the third. HerO denying GG his income. I mean, he's down to just the one mining base. So it looks like GG has a lot less income. Oh, oddly enough, no. Did he drop a whole lot of mules or something? Oh, well, he does have a lot of mules. Interesting. How is he getting that much more income than HerO? HerO has, like, no income. He has no gas. But apparently that many probes versus 3 mules and a bunch of SCVs, and the mules win. So, there you go. Mules OP. Even though I usually play Terran. Mules are pretty OP. I love them. HerO taking another base over here. Very wise, although this proxy pylon's going to be a bit of a problem. If he doesn't catch that, he's going to have zealots all up in his mineral lines. That's an issue. He's got a couple workers over to these gas. He's got to get that income back up. You can see it's really... Nope, they're both zero now. I guess he ran out of gas. Well, there isn't much happening right now in terms of the army. They're just kind of going back and forth. DTs, it looks like, but not doing a whole lot of damage. 1 DT here, 2 kills. I mean, 2 kills in a DT isn't enough. He's got to make more than that. He's got to be able to deny this expo completely. Kill the SCV and then make this thing lift again. Looks like this proxy has been found. DT's here, getting a few more kills, but 4 doesn't get a 5th. Not really good enough. HerO's that's a lot of money HerO's thrown into those things, and they're not getting the return on the investment that he needs. So he's still got 4 Colossi. Even if he lost his Robo, he's done a very good job of maintaining those things. He should really build more Robos since he can. And he's still got the Robo Bay, so he could build Colossi right away. Neither player is stacking any money though. They're in this. They're fighting tooth and nail. However, 3-2 Marauders and Marines are pretty nasty. Looks like another engagement here. That's a lot of Vikings. It does. I mean, that's too many Vikings for these Stars to take care of. They can take them in maybe 2 volleys, whereas the Vikings are able to 2-shot the Colossi, and there's a lot less of them. So he's gonna have a bit of a problem. Take out the rocks so he can get a nice big open field of fire. And in he goes. God, no, HerO's just locked out of his own defensive lines. He can't get past there. Not easily. He's going to trickle in 1 by 1 if he tries. Next Overcharge really isn't that good in the late game. These Hellbats are just tanking the hits. Oh, Stalkers wandering on their own. Not good. Run, Stalkers. And there we go. They got Blink, so they can run whenever they please. This base entirely money. I mean, this is just going to look ugly. Pretty much even on the minerals, but... okay, interesting. He's not mining from here at all. Okay, I stand corrected. This base really needs to go back and start mining again. But GG just kind of microing his army a whole lot. Not a bad idea, all things considered. Oh, look at that Zealot. This DT is really, really glad he's cloaked right now. There we go. Looks like another engagement. The Vikings going in for the kill. If they can pull off a couple good volleys, those Colossi are toast. And there they go. There goes the mothership. Gets 1 good time warp down, but the Colossi are wrecking. Or being wrecked. They were wrecking a bit, but now they're wrecked. 17 kills. 18 kills. 20 kills. Then there's Executor now. But, no, he's toast. There's a lot of these guys left. They're going to heal up at full, and... 82 versus 51 pop. That's not so good. Looks like another DT. Oh, it's a chart here, so he's dead. Nope, doesn't get away. Marauder steals the kill there at the last second. ForGG, another DT in here. Does GG have any scans? He does, and that's the end of that DT. HerO is really screwed here. He just doesn't have the income to support an army. He's got 1 warp gate, 2 warp gates, 3 warp gates, and that's it. He has 3 warp gates versus GG's entire infrastructure is still intact. So as long as GG can maintain access to money, he wins. And HerO sees this expansion over here. I'm surprised GG hasn't taken this expansion back, but he doesn't really need it at this point. He's taking out all the infrastructure. There goes the Colossi Pit, also known as the Robotics Den, or Robotics Bay. It has a lot of names. Warp gates going down. They're not even powered at this point. It's just a formality. Cybercone going down, so that's going to leave HerO on just Zealots, and that's pretty much game. Doesn't matter how many warp gates he has. If all he can build is Zealots, he's kind of screwed. And these Stalkers are... I'm not really sure what they're doing. I guess they're just trying to annoy GG. And the Bio Ball moving back out here. This can just go and squish this pretty easily. 4 cannons is not going to last too long against 3-3. And HerO calls it GG. Decides to call it a day. Looks like GG has come victorious in this one. Not surprised, given the macro advantage he had in that game. I mean, having this natural a little bit earlier, and then taking his third and holding that for a while, getting the fourth up and holding that for pretty much to the end of the game, until the DTs were all over the place. But even then, didn't really lose many workers from what I saw. I mean, most of them getting away most of the time. He played that pretty well. Play F in the front was actually a pretty smart idea in the end, since it prevented any kind of zealot run-bys. Of course, you could just raise these, but still, you get the idea. It prevented HerO from getting into the base when he had that big push going. He really should have just ignored that and gone for the third. Would have been smarter. Just to try to deny his opponent and keep him lower on the income, because if you can get ahead of your opponent in macro, you generally win. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll be bringing you some more in the near future. Like, comment, and sub if you'd like some more. See you next time.